Hi, my name is Anthony Douglas. This is my ePortfolio for the Master's in Education and Building Administration. To start off, some of my goals as a part of the program were really twofold. First of all, I had professional goals and I had personal goals, both of which wanted to develop and transform my thoughts and my thought patterns as far as administration goes. I wanted to develop as a better leader, not just for personal growth, but also so that I could influence the circle around me. I looked forward to learning from others outside of my current circle of influence and find a way and the means by which I could help others learn and become better leaders. I wanted to become someday a vice principal or building administrator. And as far as personally, I looked forward to achieving a second master's. I look forward to becoming a better teacher, a classroom teacher, leader in the classroom, leader in the school, and leader in the educational field. And my goal someday would be to eventually write an educational book or a responsive book in education. Part of this and part of learning my who I was part of it was learning my learning philosophy and my leadership philosophy, and it really came down to four P's as far as my leadership philosophy was. First of all, my first P would be the passion. What am I passionate about? What do I love? What do I enjoy? And my passion of my leader would hold the vision to move forward. I think one of the things we sometimes lack in leadership is passion, not emotion, but passion for what we're doing. And I think it's interesting that Elmore says your passion as a leader is one piece of self-awareness puzzle that you enable to focus your energies on the causes that resonate with the core of who you are. And I think as a leader, people need to know who I am through what I care about, and that would be my passion. Purpose would be the second P. What is as a leader? What's my purpose? What am I looking forward to doing? What am I wanting to do? And the why. Why am I doing it? And we all have a purpose in what we do, and make sure we're doing it with the right purpose. And my purpose as a leader in education would be to be student-centered and what's best for kids. That is the major purpose for me, anyway, in my leadership philosophy. The third P would be that of people. People are what are the center and what mean the most to me. Relationships, relationships, relationships. They can trust me. I can trust them. I know them for their story and who they are, not just a data dot or a number, but who are they? Who are these people? And working with those people will help me as a leader become a leader and lead them as well. The next one would be, the last one would be being the participative leader. I don't think there's anything wrong with any kind of leader asking for help. I don't think there's anything wrong with a leader getting their hands dirty. I think that's what makes a good leader. Someone who has a purpose, is passionate about what they do, cares about people, and is willing to get involved. Those four P's are what I think make a good leader. Those four P's are what drive the philosophy of leadership that I have. I think it separates and wipes out the us versus them, but it makes it more effective when you involve yourself in the leadership part and getting your hands dirty. Part of my program of study was because of the previous master's degree earned, I was able to waive the educational leadership, and I was also able to waive the cultural diversity classes. Thanks to Fort Hays State, I was able to complete the program through a summer, a fall semester, an intersession, and a spring semester, and get my hours done rapidly, but well done and efficiently and effectively. In my resume, one can see that I have taught in the state of Texas, as well as most recently Oklahoma and Wichita, Kansas. Part of this movement around was caused and due to coaching changes or coaching carousels. And so I learned a lot during that time about who I am and what I want to do and what I don't want to do, but also it allowed me an opportunity to be at different places and learn from different leaders in education. Part of my educational background is I earned a bachelor's degree in Christian education in May of 2000 from Southern Nazarene University. I earned a master's in education and sports administration in December of 14 from East Central University in Ada, Oklahoma, and now from Fort Hays, a master's in education in building administration. Part of the ePortfolio was doing the bibliographies. In the bibliographies, really, there were two articles that really struck with me and stuck with me. One of them was about the different models of leaders and how they took two models and put them into five different principal schools and gave examples and how they were able to relate and change those schools based on the way they led. And also, the second article that really struck me was what great principals do differently. And in that, Todd Whitaker presents different attributes of principals as they lead staffs differently and lead different staffs and schools differently, but they all had one thing in common, and that was the validity of relationships. And so in that article, they talk about how success and growth are greater as they building wide goals and success when it centers around people and it centers around the needs of people rather than the passion and goals of staff and what works best for people, but what works best for students. So I thought those two articles were probably the best two and very impactful in the way you view people and the way you view administration. I was able to participate in several USD 259 district activities thanks to the graciousness of our district and our principals. They ranged from attending leadership meetings for future administrators and facilitating conversations. They ranged as well to talking about different grading scales and the change in grading scales in the district and leading in-services and different in-services with departments, in particularly English with this one. I was able to attend board meetings where different decisions were made. This one in particular was to reflect the calendar of Wichita State due to dual credit students, concurrent students, and WSU students. Although after it was said and done, they went a separate week and not in cohesiveness with the universities. I was also able to help assist and understand the reading of restorative practices and restorative circles in schools, both of which impacted the way I view discipline and how we're going to restore and shape the discipline in our school and be able to lead different in-services at the elementary level as well as the secondary level in getting those done. And also the district in-service meetings, I was able to help explain during in-service the new district ELA secondary curriculum for high school and how it connects to the standards-based grading in both piloting my class as well as the school I currently teach in. And as far as the educational systems go, we were able to attend a assistant principal meeting where they broke down the information provided through discipline, but also through these safe and civil school surveys and how we can consistently meet those needs of the students, meet the needs of stakeholders, and meet the needs of staff, as well as meet the needs of the mission and vision of the school district and the school. At the elementary level, I was able to go several different times and had several different opportunities to do different things. One was to help listen really and listen to a principal give her mission and vision of the school. There were some situations that were happening and the principal had to revisit that, as well as the behavior and risk management, basically of at-risk students and behavioral students as well. As part of the learning and teaching activity, I was able to listen and participate in faculty getting new material and facilitate and listen to some of the needs and wants and concerns. I was able to help organize, along with the principal, and understand really the master scheduling with the budget and the number of projected students coming into the school from the district, as well as their current numbers, and how Title I money and the budgets can be projected the previous year for the upcoming year, and what needs to be asked for as far as staff and materials. I was able to help during these parent-teacher conferences one evening to help guide and direct parents to take the civil surveys in English and Spanish. During the time, parents were also and students were also helping prepare them enroll for the following school year. And as far as the ethics and integrity activities, I was able to go to a principal-led meeting with the staff to talk about the current policies and when it came up with discipline and how those would change with the restorative practices. And of course, we was able to present the restorative practices PowerPoint and presentation to an elementary staff as well. Most of my time was spent in the secondary level because of my building that I'm currently in. It was out of convenience. I was able to, again, do the restorative practice. I was part of the restorative practices team where we spent a lot of time after school presenting, preparing, and going over data and information. During the day, I would go and spend, every other day, I would spend up to 90 minutes with one of the 5 assistant principals, whether it was doing discipline, entering discipline, doing teacher walkthroughs, handling situations as they occurred. We were able to very much get a taste of what they did on a daily basis. I spent a lot of time being safety and security, whether it be at different sporting events or different activities, and making sure our security was prepared for changing a venue with the different and diverse crowds that we receive. I was able to help our students do the safe and civil survey, but also help do enrollment and help them do applications for college for next school year. And I was able to help the different principals enter the information needed and provided for different disciplinary actions and activities based in the student database warehouse. And again, the educational systems that we have were to collect and understand the different data that we currently have and how we can improve those as a school and some of the filter the information as they are come up as concerned. Part of the reflection piece on this was really interesting to me. I walked into the program thinking I don't want to be an administrator, and I'm really not sure what I'm getting into. Part of this also was that I had assumptions and presumptions of what administrators do and what I thought they did or should be doing. But as I went through the explanation stage, I was able to work alongside them and see that their job is unpredictable. It was day to day, minute to minute. In a school with 2,200 students, it seemed that you might have the same students show up, but you never knew what the event was going to occur. And so working alongside them, you learn to be flexible and you learn to understand what it is they're doing and how do you adjust to that as assistant principal or administrator. The conjure stage allowed me to ask one common question. Really, how can I embrace new educational improvement theories and be effective in them? And part of that in the analysis part, as well as in the synthesis stage, was to learn to do my research, learn to do understanding, be a continued learner, and to be effective in the way that I'm a leader, but also the way I help other teachers become effective leaders, effective teachers, be effective in their instruction, and to have a stronger community and be a better leader. I've really learned how, as an administrator, you have to understand that there's policies and procedures, excuse me, but there's also laws to protect you, laws to protect stakeholders, and there's opportunities to ensure the operations of the school follow within that law. I really appreciate this opportunity for internship in this program because it really opened my eyes to understand that I don't understand everything and I needed to be a continued learner in everything.